So what we had talked about a little bit here, I'll just kind of recap now that it's on the weekly video, is one of the things I look at early in the day is I look at the 1-day VIX, VIX 1 day. And you can see the VIX 1 day. Now it changes throughout the day, but it was pretty low today. It started off very, very low, right? It usually starts low and goes high, right? Because volatility typically increases as the day goes along. This is just for 1 day. But you can see our starting point here is very low. Some days we're higher, right? But today we're particularly low. When the 1-day VIX is low, typically that means that we're just not going to get a whole bunch of movement. You know, and actually you can see SPX wise, where do we open today? From our open, we made this push, right? And then really after that initial push, look at that. The initial push was up to 950. And then we basically landed there at the end. Went nowhere the whole rest of the day. This is what happens when there's low volatility, right? So things to be aware of, right, is that on a low volatility day, we may not get those swings that we like that are like this and this and this and this. We may get swings that are like this, right? So it could be a day to sit out and say, not a great day to day trade that kind of movement when the volatility, when the 1-day VIX is at 8. I'm not sure I want to do a whole lot of trading there. Or secondly, it might be one that as you get into a trade, either you sell the debit spread early for a profit and you don't even try to convert, or what I do is I convert and I'll take a loss. I'll take a small loss in order to get the fly. I'm not looking for as big of a profit. But my strategy basically on days like today is I'm kind of looking for a 10-to-1 ratio. So if it's a 5 wide, you know, that's going to be worth potentially $500. I am willing to pay $50 for that thing because I know it could 10x my money. Today I got a 10 wide. I knew it could be worth $1,000. So I was willing to pay $100. I thought it had a pretty good chance of making more than $100. Now, as it was, I lost here and I only got like $29. So, you know, I lost whatever, $71 of my investment, of my $100 investment. So I lost 71%, right? But okay, well, I'm not sure what everyone else did, Blue Sky, but I can share what I did. So the first thing was I showed how I really like scenarios. I'll go ahead and put this away. I really like scenarios when if we're trending, right? We're pushing, clearly we gap up, we're pushing up, we're pushing higher, everything is screaming higher, right? I want to get in, I want to get in. Where's my entry point? Well, when I see the 5-minute is definitely still blue. See the bigger time frame is blue. Tells me direction is up. Even through this pullback, we're still blue. Right? So now I'm just looking for a blip, an entry point on the 2-minute. Where can the 2-minute get me in? I'm pretty confident direction is up. So when this changes from yellow or from blue to yellow, I'm just waiting on this, waiting for this to get back to blue. Bam, bam. There's my entry point. There's my trade. Blue Sky, I'm typically using them really in conjunction. But the 5-minute is really telling me what's happening. And then the 2-minute for me is my trigger chart, my entry chart. So this is one way that you can trade, right? Is on a day when it looks like we're trending, we're pushing up, direction is up, and we're not going to get really huge moves. Where does the pullback give me a chance to get in? Came right down to VWAP, pushed, went from yellow back to blue. Now this chart didn't set up. This 2-minute chart wasn't awesome, right? I mean, you look at the rest of it in context. This is not typically our CTV strategy, right? Look what happens. This is coming down, coming down, coming down, right? This is not how you trade a shift. What I'm suggesting is this is how you trade what I call a continuation trade. It's going in one direction. It's pretty strong bullish. Very strong here, very strong here, very strong here. Look, every indicator you can find on the 5-minute is telling us we are going up, right? But I don't want to just grab it any old place. This is how problems happen. If I get it right here and then I have to live through that, that's no fun. If I try to get it right here and I got to live through that, that's no fun. So I'm looking for where does that pullback look like it's complete. And this is the trick that kind of helps tell me when that's complete.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.